I'll come to Mr. Tinku Singh, who is heading the strategy for SRS Group. It's one of our favorite. It's a, I mean, not that I need to tell you this, but it's the Delhi NCR's favorite grocery store. And, I think as a Delhiite, all of us are probably very, very familiar with this as a grocery brand. So, I know that in the last few years, you have ventured into an online thing. In fact, just to test the waters, we also ordered from srsgrocery.com just to kind of understand how a traditional retailer today is trying to address, and you have with competitors like Grofers and Pepper Tap and everybody coming into the block of grocery. We were trying to understand how is a traditional retailer trying to address the issue of online and trying to do it best. And I think what we found was really something great. But what I would like you to address is that why did you feel the need? I mean, grocery is it cannot go out of demand. It's a basic human need. At the end of the day, we need milk, breads, dals, and so on. So why did you feel, or where was the need for you to go online? That is number one. And even then, when you did go online, what is your future strategy for your own stores going to be in terms of being able to maximize? So, idea is not to kill your existing business to build a new business. So how do you kind of manage both? It's really something very similar to what I asked Shivanandan, but probably more from a grocery standpoint.
Thank you, Ritu. And first I'll tell you a little more about SRS. We do schools, we do hospitals, and we do, if I count on fingers, it's close to 25 vertical is what we are running at this point in time. And we have got close to 250 touch points. So when we have that, so we have a very, very a good understanding as to consumer, because in 10 years time, we have been able to identify that yes, even the traditional business can do a lot of things within the horizon. So while we were just contemplating that what are the things that we can give, so we introduced online business as a value add, not taking as cannibalizing my own business, because our business strategy is such that we are doing an expansion with respect to our retail business also. The same atta, dal, chawal, all those things we are expanding. But when we say we open our shop from 8 o'clock in the morning till say 10 o'clock at night, there are 70% of the people, or rather I'd say there are a lot of people, youngsters, middle-aged people, there are a lot of people who works late, and their wives always complain, आज आप मेरे को कहीं शॉपिंग कराने के लिए नहीं लेके गए. किराने वाले दुकान वाले जो हैं उनको देने के लिए they have lot of problems. So how do we address that issue? So we felt that although our stores are doing very good, in one of the session in the morning I was listening that like healthcare and other things, it's a recession proof. Even our dal, atta, chawal thing called grocery is a recession proof. Whatever may happen, these things are going to stay. But yet we felt that what is the thing that we give it to our consumer, which is going to give them a maximum, ease. They do not have to get tensed at night. How will I get my orders tomorrow? So we introduced this some 7 to 8 months back. We felt that this is something which we should give it to our consumer, and they should be happy about that. And now, luckily, by the grace of good God, amidst the competitions, our offtake it has actually added, rather than cannibalizing, it has added. And it is doing a phenomenal business is what we felt. Other thing I wanted to tell you was that there are sizable amount of people at our house, are older people who have been, who are above 50 years of age, or people who have been at a senior citizen level. What is happening is that they have got a very good command over education and everything, but technologically they were not very good. So in a way, what we have done is the iPads and the iPhones have actually taught them. Earlier it used to be a ticket booking as far as technology is concerned. Now after seeing that my daughters are booking tickets, my bahus are booking tickets, and they are finding online, we have been able to educate them. So this is the new transition that it has happened. Even the older people sit with, a lot of Saas Bahu serials I keep going. When I go reach home, I see our mothers and our wives and everybody are, watching those serials. Usme ye hota hai ki that, there are people who are sitting with laptops. They are sitting with iPads today. So these transitions has created them given, and in fact, we should take it as a this thing, digital, digital world should take it with pride that we have been able to teach them. So today, online orderings had increased at a household front too. So I guess that, rather than thinking that we will be cannibalizing our store or we will not being able to do things, there will be a customer which is going to increase day by day. And believe me, with 3,000 rupees a phone, a smartphone, we have given the entire digital world at hand. And there is where the business lies of tomorrow.
Great. So I think you want to add something? Okay. So there's another thought to it, which I think he's given very well, that there is a certain time that being a traditional store owner, a consumer can come to you. But then you need to also be part of the time when a traditional customer cannot come to you. So which could probably be the off time for their store and the on time for their digital business. And that is probably when they look to do maximum sales in this business. Tell me something that, let's say if somebody is to order from you at 12 o'clock at night, what kind of delivery hours do you have for it?
See, currently, of course, everybody, it's a startup phase. There are 3 delivery slots that we have made. And they can actually choose the delivery slots, and as per their convenience, they can order their product for different times. So we have got the peak hours early in the morning because we can't give them between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock because everybody would be rushing to their office. Their husbands or their sons and their fathers would be going for the office, but believe me, the ladies have got a tougher time because they have to give their children breakfast, their husband their tiffins or whatever. So they are also occupied. So peak hours is not only for the husbands and the traffic outside, it is also for the ladies at home because they also have to catch up with that traffic. So we have kept that 3 delivery slots, one early in the morning, second one in the afternoon, and towards the time where towards the evening time is what we are doing. So when we have kept this delivery hours, it is much easier for them to order and delivery.
So the evening hours are more when people return from office.
Evening times are the time where people return because currently we are doing 3 slots and we are also trying to see that all the logistics and everything happens at night. I mean, thanks to the logistic gentleman who is sitting right next to me, today we are doing by ourselves, but in times to come, with their support, with logistic partners coming into places, which we have been able to tie up with a couple of them. Now we will be looking at more and more things. So, currently we have 5 warehouses which is running in NCR region. So with the logistic partner, we will be able to cater to more and more, not only Delhi NCR, but also the various parts of the country is what we will be doing it.
Excellent.
One more thing I wanted to add was, because SRS does in a multi-domain business, I'll take you to the cinema business. Earlier, the reel of the cinema which used to come in a boxes, it used to travel from one place to the other, And now because of the digitization and the online, the way we can download from the through satellite and other thing, it has become so easy. The biggest thing advantage has also been not only a consumer friendly, but also a cost effectiveness has increased a lot. Similarly into a jewelry thing. Earlier we had to travel all the way from one place to the other to see the patterns and the brand. Today what we do is that we have a big monitor and we can see the fashion shows. We can see we can choose our product, not only nationally, internationally. So there are a lot of things which is happening in the business front.
Sure. A great perspective there. You were right and you took my line away that digital world is really being made possible only because of the logistics that are in play at the back end and making sure that the deliveries are actually being done as per the order. So we have Ravi with us today who is looking after the logistic business. It's a part of the Nagarjuna Fertilizers Group. And today they are building an e-commerce logistic arm which will help both traditional businesses getting online as well as online businesses in their pure play format to grow. So, Ravi, if you can just throw light in terms of where do you see logistics playing an important role in e-commerce, and how do you see logistics being able to help traditional businesses as well as online businesses grow bigger?
Yeah. I think Mr. Singh has already given us a testimony as to what wonders logistics does in any e-commerce business. As we know, I mean, to my mind, e-commerce is basically a set of three factors, three important crucial aspects. One is, yes, the internet. Second is the product. And third is what plays the most important role is the logistics part of it. And trust me, out of the interaction with people who are into e-commerce business, we understand it tends to become the most painful point in the complete supply chain of a e-commerce seller. You know, I mean, there are procurement issues, there are returns is a major area, then keeping a track of it electronically, then you know, accounting, information flow, financial flow, everything logistics affects in a big way. And if some seller has e-commerce seller has issues with logistics, it's a real pain point for them. So now coming to what we do, logistics.com is basically a marketplace, a competitive marketplace, which brings the buyers, which are the people who require logistics services, and the sellers. Sellers are the logistics service providers on a single platform. Now, the beauty in the whole setup is that on our platform, from a buyer's perspective, once the buyer gives the set of requirement he has in terms of, I mean, it can be anything like origin and destination combination to the weights and the transit time required. The system has a set of qualified vendors which throws results containing suitable vendors for the requirement the buyer has set. Not only that, the buyer can then view a list of vendors along with the commercials if for their specific service kind they are available, choose the vendors and post its query. After posting its query, it doesn't stop here. The transaction, I mean, buyer selecting the vendor and placing the order also happens online. So this is a complete end-to-end buy cycle which happens, which is followed by a delivery cycle, which is where the buyer performs the service and then update the system. To support this end-to-end logistics procurement and service fulfillment, there are many features. Like we have track and trace, we have intuitive analytics for buyers to make informed decisions. To give more focus to it, apart from the journal services, logistics services the portal has, we also cater to certain specific industry verticals. E-commerce is one of them. So when I say specifically designed for e-commerce, the buyer can post specific questions to his requirement. I mean, he may require pizza box deliveries within 3 hours, ranging from 12 hours to 24 hours, night deliveries, hyper-local deliveries. So he can then request for vendor codes, get codes, and transact online, and then get supported by value adds and data analytics. So that's what we do.
Yeah. So.
To add to the importance to the logistics. So again, my own experience of setting up online business for a large retail brand company. So I used to tell them that, get ready, you will start getting consumer complaints. Mera shipment nahi pahuncha, right? That's because traditionally the sale is over at the store. Traditionally, the sale is over at the store. You collect the money, consumer takes it. Now, on the way, anything happens to it, you are not responsible. But unfortunately, the complexity of online business starts once the consumer makes the payment or places an order. Until then, he has actually not done anything from his side. It's only 50% of his journey. And for the online retailer also, it is hardly 40%. For consumer, he has completed everything. For us, the real journey, real pain starts there. Right? So it is very important that how closely we are with logistic partner, how closely we monitor them, how fast or how quickly we tighten them. So we have to play with some, I mean, Trendin being a smaller online player, we play with around 8 to 10 different logistic partners. I know of bigger friends of mine who play with some 30, 35 logistic partners. It's a daily job. This is that additional complexity of an online business, which traditionally as retailers we do not have.
Another, just a small addition that when we are talking about grocery, when we are talking about daily needs, grocery is not only those big ticket items. We are talking about fresh milk. We are talking about fresh fruit and vegetables. We are talking about eggs. They are all vulnerable things. It can go wrong anytime. And with this, what happens is the customer response, between the customer and the process owner, the response time has to be so swift that next time the person who is actually picking up the iPad or a phone or a computer has got so much of trust that he or she would get things before their people leave for their office. So with that, the logistic has been such an important part that it plays, that without them, he's actually right, that 60% of the problems are in the air till the time the delivery is completed.
Yeah, and to add to what Mr. Singh just said, I met in the morning session somebody who's there. They are venturing out with an e-pharmacy model. And that gentleman reached out to me, and the very specific agenda was that, boss, I have this venture which is going to be coming up in next 2 months. And the problem statement was that I have too many of such e-pharmacies now being floated around. So for me to be different, what I want is that once the patient has got a prescription from the doctor, before he reaches home, I want the material, in this case, the medicine, reach home to give him an experience as good as, he comes out of the clinic, goes to the pharmacy and comes back home. So that was something, was a differentiator or the value add versus his competition he was looking at. I asked him which all cities, and I'm happy to say that logistics.com has those kind of setups for those cities mentioned to deliver medicines in as early as, say, 2 hours time. I mean, if that is the need be, I think that would be applicable for many products for grocery also, wherein you need to deliver fresh, you need to deliver in time. In time is, I think, has become ahead of time. So that's where I think we can play a big role to support.
Great, I think that's a good point that you made. I'll come to you, and interestingly, your model is still easier because a printout would suffice and the logistics would not come in. But you also mentioned that you've tied up with Amazon. So Amazon how do you work with them? Is it like, do they syndicate their content or their products which are on their website to your website? And then who is finally in charge of the logistics side of the business? And largely as an organization which is into ticketing and probably, as you said, getting into other forms of ticketing, what is in it for you?
Okay, so IRCTC has recently done up a contract with Amazon.com, and they've hosted a co-branded website for us, for our customers. So our customers flocking onto the website can also see valued products, travel-related products. Let's say if you are going to travel and you need a suitcase, you've been shown a suitcase. Products which you're actually needing while travel or maybe for a particular destination. And how is this benefited IRCTC? There is, of course, a revenue model attached to it. Every product sale commission comes to IRCTC. And IRCTC plays the role of marketing the products. Let's say when you log out to our IRCTC website, you're being showcased the co-branded Amazon website. In terms of logistics, we have solely outsourced it to Amazon. So there's an SLA or contract written down where all the deliverables are being looked after by Amazon. But somewhere we found that in India, let's say there are so many PIN codes which are registered today. Even a same PIN code is being registered against 2 cities. So let's say if a product is not delivered in that PIN code, there are pickup points also available for the customer. Of course, the customer would say, I would want the product to be delivered at my doorstep. But then there are solutions available through the software or technology which can prompt the users, like if it is not being delivered to your home or office address, you can pick it up from your nearest pickup point. we've often, in fact, I would say 7 years down the line, when we used to be delivering the physical tickets, we used to do 30,000 tickets a day. We faced this issue of PIN codes not being sorted out against the cities. The same PIN code being registered against 2 cities, and we used to fumble delivering the tickets, our logistic partners. So in fact, we've written to the Post, the Ministry of Post also, that this PIN codes should be enlisted somewhere, some nodal agency having all the PIN codes registered vis-a-vis each city, so that this confusion doesn't occur up. So these are a few of the problems which we faced.
Just to kind of, just probably this is a contrarian view, but in your website, as a customer, I would be more interested in probably, so for me, buying a suitcase or buying a travel product is a specialist or a specialized product buying, which probably not, or for that I might want to look at another website or another store, which would give me a lot of options, which would give me the kind of product I'm looking for. What I would be more interested in buying along with my ticket at IRCTC would probably be ordering my food, what I want to eat in the train, or probably, if I could watch a movie in the train or something like that. So, would there be such services in a possibility in the future that you are likely to create?
So just to tell you, we've also launched our e-catering website. We have empaneled a lot of food providers, which will be provisioning food in Rajdhani and Shatabdi train. And maybe KFCs and McDonald's also soon going to come in on board. So e-catering is on the anvil. And other than a product, I said, we're also doing value-add products and services. Let's say you want to reach the station, what is the best possible option available to you to reach the station? There are some auto platforms which say that we would want to showcase our product to the customers to reach the railway station as fast as possible, other than cabs also. And I also mentioned you on car ride sharing companies. So, and as I said, Amazon is a product. Let's say tomorrow I'm going to Bhubaneswar and I know I need certain set of product or commodities which is easily available on the same platform. IRCTC is not saying it's niche business. Product is not my niche business. But I have captive customers. After booking the rail ticket or meanwhile booking the rail tickets, if I'm offered some other product or service also, the customer is lucrated to go and search for it and he may want to buy. So these partnerships have worked well for these companies, and that is why IRCTC is seeing the kind of voluminous transaction it is doing today. It can venture into a marketplace model of having products and services in parallel to the rail ticketing services also.
Sure. Thank you for that.